if I was the enemy, I would slowly sneak my way up for a surprise attack. Just when you least expect it, try to catch you off guard when you've let your guard down. I think I could sabotage your recovery to catch you off guard. Ugh, that sounds gross, doesn't it? How does the enemy work slowly and quietly and strategically to catch us off guard? And what's some things that we can be aware of to keep him from sabotaging our recovery? We're going to talk about it today. Welcome to Celebrate Recovery Official, a podcast that shares life-change stories, courage, hope, and leadership wisdom, all centered around the Celebrate Recovery principles that were birthed out of Matthew chapter 5, where Jesus gives us a really cool map for living life. And what do we do when those events happen in our life that we learn in Celebrate Recovery, the hurts that can come with that we may have run from, the nasty core beliefs that they can lead to unhealthy coping strategies and cause havoc on our relationship with others and God, toward healing, new healthy truths, new healthy practices, and healthy relationships. I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ. I struggle with drugs and alcohol and perfectionism. My name is Rodney. I'm the Global Field Director with Celebrate Recovery. It's good to be back with you guys today. Hope you're doing well today, hanging in there, staying connected, going to your meetings, going to your church, connecting with your brotherhood or your sisterhood, letting people into your scary parts of your heart. All that's important. The enemy doesn't take a day off. And today's topic is kind of around that. We've done a few of these. Just if the enemy was going to sabotage us, how would he do it? And I think one of the ways that he's done with me, and maybe it can relate to you, if not, maybe be on guard to not get caught in this flywheel. But I think one of the ways is the enemy will slowly work, quietly, strategically, try to catch us off guard. You know, sometimes when we get into recovery, well, I'll see this where people come in, there's a train wreck in their life, and they start to see some relief. And they're getting that relief feels good, and man, maybe things are okay. So we stop doing what we were doing when we came in motivated. It's one of the reasons why early in a step study, I'll ask guys, hey, what's your motivation for change? 1 to 10, 10 being most motivated, and why? And what does it mean to be motivated? And man, when we're feeling pain is a good motivator, isn't it? I wish it wasn't that way, but we're motivated. Oh, I'm in the Word. I'm going to meetings. I'm going to church. I'm calling. I'm meeting with brothers, and I'm still teachable, and I haven't arrived, and I want to learn and learn and learn. And then things start to get comfortable, and that's when we start to let our guard down. That's when that full armor of God starts to be put on the shelf in the closet. Hey, you know what? I think I'm strong enough today without it. And we stop doing the very things that got us where we are. And so I want to talk about that with you, maybe as a proactive plan. But I think one of the ways that he will slowly, quietly, strategically try to catch us off guard is to understand the enemy rarely attacks loudly. What do I mean by that? He's very subtle. He'll take little, small steps. It's kind of a 1,000 cuts. It's like, oh, it's a paper cut. Give me one paper cut. Oh, that hurts. It's annoying. Give me another one and another one and another one and another one slowly over time. And man, now I'm hurting. I am hurting. So I think knowing he's very strategic. He's not just this big, loud, I'm here, everybody. He kind of quietly and subtly takes small steps. 1 Peter 5:8 is a passage that we go to often in step study is, be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around. Just imagine this slow, strategic, quiet enemy trying to catch us off guard. He's prowling around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. If you've ever seen a lion walk slow, if you've been to a zoo or you watch Animal Kingdom or whatever, when they're slowly going after their prey, they're very, very strategic. They don't just kind of drop in real big and loud, and here I am, I'm a lion, I'm going to get dinner tonight. No, they kind of hang their head a little bit, and they slowly move their left paw, and then their back one, and then the front right one, and then they slowly take these steps, and they'll even pause for a second to make sure that their prey doesn't see them. And as soon as they turn away, they take another couple slow steps, quiet steps. That's what that picture reminds me of. They prowl around like a roaring lion. The enemy is trying to devour us, but he's going to do it kind of a sneaky way. One of the ways the enemy will kind of develop this strategy is just kind of this gradual erosion. It's not this sudden explosion or destruction. It reminds me of years ago I taught on this, but there was if you've heard of the Big Dig, D-I-G, Big Dig, in the Boston D Street tunnel. So they built this to create efficiency in the highway system, and they built this thing in record time, and got it up and running, and then cars are functioning on this highway. Well, a lady drives through this D Street tunnel, and I can't remember, it's several tons of concrete detached from its anchor and came crashing down on top of this car, killing this, I think she was 33 years old. And what they found was the epoxy that they put on the bolts to hold the concrete secure to the anchor, the epoxy that they used, you have standard set and fast set. For whatever reason, the fast set's what they use, probably to get done with the project quicker, but it's not as sturdy as the standard set, which takes more time to set, and it's going to cost more money to wait until it's complete where they can use this highway. They used this cheaper, faster epoxy, and when the concrete slowly separates from the anchor, that stretch in the epoxy is what they call creep, which is fascinating. And I think when I think about that lion prowling around looking for someone to devour, there's creep happening in our life. And so it's a great question to ask, what's the creep in my life that's pulling me away from my anchor? This gradual separation, gradual erosion, not sudden catastrophe, not sudden destruction. So I have to be mindful, and it's a good challenge for you. Pay attention to those small little compromises. Pay attention to the creep that might be happening in your life. The creep that may be creating cracks in your recovery because you've gotten comfortable, and though you can't see him because he's frozen waiting for you to turn your head, he's waiting to take another step, the enemy is. Don't let down your wall of recovery because he seeks to devour us. So we want to be mindful of that. I think another thing is his first attack is against your alertness. So if I'm out in the woods and for weeks and I'm living off the land kind of a deal, I'm feeling pretty comfortable, it's easy to kind of lose your alertness. It's like, don't forget, there's wild animals here that will tear your head off if you're not careful. I think of my friend Mac and Mary living out in Colorado. Anytime they go out in their land, they have several acres out in Colorado. Even Mary Owen, like I'm imagining Mary Owen packing a gun. But the reason she's packing is there could be cougars. I mean, there could be mountain lions. There could be bears. She doesn't know what's going to come up on her. Now, she doesn't walk in fear. She's just walking in alertness. And that's the picture I have, that the enemy will try to attack our alertness. I think that's one of his first attacks that he will get us with. Matthew 26 reminds us, watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. Or Ephesians 6:18, be alert and always keep on praying. Don't stop doing what you did to get here. If he can kind of lull us into sleep, or you could say spiritual sleep, he'll strike when you're unaware. So make sure you're packing the full armor of God, the weapons, the sword of the Spirit, all that stuff. So what are your routines? Is there anything you've gotten lax in? Again, it's not about perfection. It's just about necessity. How's your prayer? How's your accountability? When's the last time you asked your accountability team or your sponsor, hey, do you see anything in me? Please let me know. I don't want to lose my alertness. If the enemy attacks my alertness, he's got me. Are you making intentional check-ins with your people, even when you feel fine? Like, well, I don't need to check in with anybody. Actually, that's the best time to check in, to build that muscle. I want to be in the habit of reaching out to you when things are good, so that when things are bad, it doesn't feel like a 1,000,000-pound phone. So the enemy's first attack can be against our alertness. But I think another thing that the enemy will do is he'll plant thoughts that will slowly grow over time. It's like watching a plant grow. I mean, or watching a teapot or a pot boil. It's like, man, you can sit there and stare at it. Man, is it ever gonna boil? Well, I think the enemy will plant thoughts that are a seed, and we may not see it, but over time it grows. And James, years ago, I memorized the book of James with one of my sponsees. I've got a good part of it still memorized, but not like I did. It was just a good exercise for us. But one of the things that really gets me is in James 1, talking about, each person is tempted, then desire comes, and it gives birth to sin, and then sin gives birth to death. So it starts with that temptation, the desire that then grows into sin, and then that sin births death. That's kind of that planting of those thoughts that grow over time. So temptation can grow in stages. This is why I often tell guys, we don't slip into a relapse. Go back and play it out. How did I get here? I started seeing and letting my eyes see things that I don't normally do. I stopped doing these things. I started doing these things. And all those things started growing from a thought eventually to destruction, from a desire eventually to death, as James 1 says. So I want to be mindful of that. It's a process. Recovery is a process. So is relapse. It's a process. One moment at a time, we start planting these seeds. The enemy starts to plant these seeds. So I want to make sure that I take those thoughts captive early, before they grow into some habits that will ultimately get me off the road to recovery, derail me. I don't want to be in that place. I think another thing he'll do is he'll use isolation to set up the ambush. Years ago, I remember reading about the USS Indianapolis, and it was talking about survivors, and they interviewed some survivors from the USS Indianapolis, and they were talking about after the guys were in the water kind of huddled together, some of them would get scared because there were sharks, and they would think, I need to get away from this pack of people, this group of people. I'll be safer by myself. And that's exactly where the enemy gets us. If he can pull us away from the community, he's setting us up for an ambush. As Proverbs 18:1, whoever isolates himself, it goes on to say, will break out against all sound judgment. Remember Ecclesiastes, when we talk about two are better than one, that part that says, even if either of them falls down, one can help the other one up. If you don't have people around you, you're in a dangerous space. And it's good to think, going back to the lion analogy, lions don't attack the herd. They attack the one who wanders off. because they know they're susceptible and they're vulnerable. So stay connected with your sponsors, stay connected with your accountability partners, your open share small groups, your step studies, your church community, all those things that you did to get here. We need that today, even when things are going good. Take a super quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation on how the enemy can slowly, quietly, and strategically try to catch us off guard. Stick with me. I'll be right back. Hey friends, did you know that we have an online meeting every single Wednesday? Man, God is doing some good things there. Lives are changing because we have a safe space to process our hurts, hangups, habits, relationship struggles. We have a devotional, we have a mini moni, testimony, and then we break up into small groups. You don't have to share, but you'll always walk away blessed. If you'd like to join us, go to celebraterecovery.com, get the link, and join us this Wednesday at noon Pacific. Hope to see you there. Welcome back. It's so good. These are good proactive things to be thinking about. Remember, the lion doesn't attack the herd. I don't know if sharks are the same way. I've heard that they are. Probably if they're hungry enough. I didn't care if you're in a pack or not. But you are more susceptible if you're by yourself. We know that lions don't attack in herds. So stay connected with your people. Stay in a group. One of the ways the enemy will get us is he'll wait for those moments where you're just fatigued, you're exhausted, you're stressed, kind of that emotional vulnerability. That's the patience in him, right? He's slow. He doesn't just jump on a scene. He waits. I can see you're running yourself in the ground. Let me let you get just exhausted enough or stressed enough or emotionally vulnerable enough that you don't have the strength within yourself to fight for yourself. That just sounds so mean and cruel, but that's his strategy. Let us not become weary in doing good. Often in times with sponsees, I'm saying, just make the next right choice. When Elijah, it's a story that is a great passage, I think it's 1 Kings 19, when he was in this really place of just vulnerable and exhausted, God told him to take a nap. Eat something, take a nap. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you too busy? Is there some things that you need to take out of your rhythm, your calendar? Fatigue and busyness can create some blind spots because we're vulnerable. But if we'll make a direct goal to rest, divert daily, withdraw weekly, abandon annually, take a Sabbath, have kind of that emotional awareness. We call that the heart check in the relapse lesson. Those things that we're doing will keep us and protect us from surprise attacks. One thing I've learned in my own recovery is the enemy will work through kind of justifying things, right? Accuse and excuse. We justify our behavior. We point fingers at other people and we excuse ourselves. But we'll start to make these small justifications, and those small justifications lead to humongous defeats. And so we have to be mindful that if I can get you as the enemy to sabotage you, to get you to buy into some small justifications, I know that the big defeat is coming. Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 15, catch for us the foxes, the little foxes that ruin the vineyards. Small little justifications lead to big defeats. Whoever's faithful in the little will also be faithful with the much. And so what are the things that you're justifying? Are there some small things? Oh, it's just one scene. It's just one drink. It's just one relationship. I can manage this. I'm in control. The enemy will use those little foxes that Song of Solomon talks about. What's that look like? Well, it's not a big deal. You've had a hard day. You deserve this. All right, just this one time. and then I'll never do it again. Man, those are little justifications, little foxes that really are little lies that will lead to big, humongous defeats. So maybe take some time to name some of those small little justifications. What are some of those compromises that will lead to big catastrophes in your life? Name them. Call your accountability. Call your sponsor. Ask them specifically, hey, if you see some small foxes or some small lies popping up, will you call me out on it? Because I don't want that to destroy my vineyard of the fruit that God's doing in my life. I need to invite you into that. And man, when we can do that, one of those other little justifications, well, I'm not as bad as Joe or Steve or Susan. At least I'm not as bad as them. And we find ourselves in those small little justifications. We're building this wall up between us and God and others because we start thinking we're more than we really are. We're not all that. And so I got to be honest about where I am. Don't let those little foxes or little lies creep in that justify, that can lead to humongous catastrophes. And then finally, I think the enemy will kind of surprise attack me, that lion prowling around. He's only going to attack. He'll only be successful if we stop armoring up. Now, armoring up is not dependent on me. It's going to the one who will armor me up. Lord, I need the sword of the Spirit. That means I'm in your word. I need the belt of truth. Lord, help me to hold on to truth when the lies of the enemy are coming out, right? So all these things, the full armor of God, I want to let Christ dress me. That means I've got to go to him. But if I'm not going to him, I'm not putting on the full armor of God so that I can take my stand against the devil's schemes, as Ephesians 6 reminds us. Or so that when that day of evil comes, I'll be able to stand my ground. Only way I can do that is through the armor of God. Go check out Ephesians 6. The armor is not just for emergencies. If I run out into a battlefield and I say, I'm going to leave my armor in my closet and I'm just going to go see how high and how fast the bullets are flying, I'm in for it. I go out the door expecting the enemy is prowling. And when I do that, I'm ready for battle. And so it's not just for emergencies. This is a new way of life. As a new creation, the old is gone, the new is here. We're saying, I live my life differently now. So just real simple, practical ways to armor up: prayer, gratitude list, reading his word, calling my accountability, getting coffee with my accountability, my sponsor, confession, hey, I blew it today, or I'm thinking some bad thoughts and I need to let you into that. Community, going to church, being rigorously honest, all these things and more. Maybe you can come up with some more, but they keep us prepared spiritually. It keeps us from being surprised by the enemy. Friends, if the enemy wants to sabotage your recovery, he's going to do it in a sneaky way. He's going to do it strategically. He's going to wait till you least expect it. Turn your head, let your guard down, be too tired, all those things. He's going to do it quietly. It's not going to just be this big explosion of I'm here. He's going to slowly feed thoughts and try to create erosion. He's going to try to give you compromises that will lead to catastrophes. He's going to do it through those small little compromises, temptations, the ones that no one notices. No one notices but you. But here's the thing. That's an option. We talk about this with relapse. A relapse is an option, but it's not required. Hope is possible. Change is possible. We know that hurt is inevitable, but relapse is not mandatory. So God has given you everything you need to stay alert. He's given you everything you need to stay armored, to stay connected, to stay strong. His Spirit lives in you. And remember, recovery is not about perfection. It's staying connected to the perfect one. It's about being aware. It's about armoring up. It's putting my dependence on God so that I can be secure in myself and interdependent with others, and staying in that light. I don't want to walk in darkness. And the old me took me into a path of darkness, and I don't want to go there anymore. And so if the enemy wants to sabotage me, he's going to do it slowly, quietly, strategically. He's going to try to catch you off guard. Remember, he does it in subtle, small steps. He's going to attack your alertness. He's going to plant some thoughts that will grow slowly over time. He's going to try to get you away from the pack so that he can ambush you in your vulnerable state. He's going to try to fill your schedule with busyness and exhaustion and emotional vulnerability so that you can't fight for yourself. And he's going to try to give you these little tiny small justifications that will kind of lead to humongous defeats. And when we stop armoring up, the enemy's attacks are going to be successful. It only works when we stop armoring up, and some super important things to be mindful of in our recovery journey. Hey, I hope this is helpful for you. These are always, even as I'm sharing them, it's like, oh, this is good for my heart. So maybe it's just for me, but maybe there's some nuggets there for you. Hey, share this with somebody. Give us a review. Give us a high star rating so that we can reach more people with the algorithms. We're grateful for you. Keep the ideas coming in of things that you'd like to hear discussed, and we'll do our best to get those out there. Hey, thank you so much for all that you do. Thanks for fighting the fight and for listening. I pray that you'll join me next time. Until then, God bless you guys.